Well, let me indicate the scope of my arguments, a broad overview of my arguments. And whenever your Lordship wishes to go into the questions more deeply, I will assist your Lordships. So the first question is, does the government have the power under Section 26 of the RBI Act to make the notification, which was eventually made on 8th of November? 8th of November. In my submission, the government does not have the power. This was realized way back in
Mr. Chidambaram, before that,
Yes.
if you can give some sequence of events to understand better.
All right, I'll tell you.
Just the sequence, what happened on what day, just a few,
Well, there are only 3 events to our knowledge, and none of the documents pertaining to those 3 events have been produced, which is one of my complaints, which I will address. According to the record, according to the counter affidavit, and according to what is available in the public domain,
Yes.
on the 7th of November 2016, government wrote a letter to the Reserve Bank of India asking for its recommendation whether 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee notes may be demonetized. The starting point, according to the record, is the letter from the government to the RBI. The RBI board, my lord, your lordship knows, consists of...
What exactly is the query to the RBI? What exactly?
Please make a recommendation whether 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee notes may be declared as no longer legal tender.
That was
the letter from the government to the RBI. Much turns on that. On the 8th of November, the next day, the RBI did not take even 24 hours to consider the letter. The very next day, the RBI board meets in Delhi, not in Bombay. It meets in Delhi. The RBI board...
What is the significance? No, Bombay or Delhi, what is it?
On the 7th of November, the government writes to the RBI seeking its recommendation on whether 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee notes may be demonetized. On the 8th of November, less than 24 hours after the letter came, the RBI, which has its headquarters in Mumbai, its entire research staff, research department staff in Mumbai, does not meet in Mumbai, it meets in Delhi on the evening of 8th of November, according to information in the public domain. The RBI board, my lord, ought to consist of 10 independent directors under Section 8(1)(c). But 7 slots were vacant on that day.
Please repeat. Out of
10 independent directors under 8(1)(c) of the RBI Act,
yes,
only 3 were in place, 7 were vacant. They had not filled it.
All right.
They had not appointed independent directors.
All right.
So the RBI board effectively consisted of the governor, the deputy governors, 4 deputy governors, 4 officers of the central government nominated by the central government, and under 8(1)(d), 2 government officials nominated by the central government, are believed to have met in Delhi and passed a resolution recommending 500 rupee and 1000 rupee notes may be demonetized. This was on 8th of November. That resolution or recommendation...
This was the statutory obligation, right? Yes.
Well, actually, the statutory obligation is the reverse. On the recommendation of the RBI, the government may demonetize.
Okay.
Here, it started with the government writing a letter to the RBI. RBI recommendation is transmitted to the cabinet. According to the information in the public domain, the cabinet is already meeting and it's waiting in the cabinet room. This recommendation comes to the government and this recommendation is accepted, and within minutes of the recommendation being received by the government makes the notification of 8th of November. And the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, goes on television at about 8 p.m. to announce demonetization while his cabinet colleagues are waiting in the cabinet room. They were requested to wait in the cabinet room. Question is, my lord, my lady asked me a question. Is this the procedure contemplated in section 26? Assuming you're exercising your power bona fide under section 26, a matter so serious and so important as demonetization, which will effectively take away 86.4% of the currency, can it be decided in a matter of 24 hours? Between 7th November, when the letter is received by the RBI, the board meets in Delhi, it is transmitted to the cabinet, and cabinet instantaneously accepts it. What is the application of mine? Is this the procedure followed under 26? The first submission I'm making is this is a perverse reversal of the procedure. The suggestion should have emanated from the RBI with research, with facts, with figures. An entire matter should have been placed before the RBI, and RBI board should have deliberated it and sent a detailed recommendation. Government should reflect on it, maybe a day, maybe two. Government should reflect on it and pass such an order. All this was done in 24 hours. Now, my lord, our allegation is,
Mr. Chidambaram,
Yes.
I don't know. But all these things have to be done in a super secretive manner because it should not leak all these.
of course you can do it. Of course you
No,
can
no,
do
what
it.
you said, it should be deliberated for long and all.
Board has to deliberate.
Huh?
Where did the board? Therefore, what we are asking is, the letter of 7th November is not placed on record. The agenda note for the board meeting is not placed on record. The actual resolution of the RBI recommending on 8th of November is not placed on record. We are now witnessing the Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark. Where is the 7th November letter of the government? Where is the agenda note for the board? Let us see what was disclosed in the agenda note. Did they disclose to the board that by demonetizing 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee note, 15,44,000 crore worth of currency will be withdrawn, which represents 86.4% of the total currency in circulation? There was this incorporated in the government, in the RBI recommendation. Did the cabinet know that 86.4% of the currency will be withdrawn? Well, I can't imagine responsible cabinet ministers approving something which withdraws 86.4% of the currency overnight. Therefore, let us have those. We don't have those documents. The counter does not disclose those documents. It's not attached. Therefore, my lord, the first question is this
Out of that currency, 98 point, I think.
only, my lord, 15,44,000 crore worth of currency was demonetized. 15 lakh, I'll tell you, give the exact number.
So what is not demonetized is, I think, between
15 lakh.
1 and 2%.
Yeah, about little fraction more than one. Just a moment, please. Please. You want to answer one? Fraction more than 1% did not return. And in court number 1, the then Attorney General told Chief Justice Thakur's bench, we expect that 3 lakh crore will not be returned, and that will be extinguished from the liability side of the RBI's balance sheet. It will be taken as RBI's profit, and government will get a dividend on the profit. In fact, the entire profit will be transferred to the government. 3 lakh crore. Later, in later hearing, the number was increased to 4 lakh crore. Government will get a bonanza of 4 lakh crore. As my friend Sham said, eventually only about 16,000 crore out of 15,44,000 crore was not returned. And that not returned could be the currency note has been destroyed, lost, washed away in flood, spoiled, or like him, he was abroad, he couldn't exchange it. 16,000 crore out of 15,44,000 crore. Effectively, my lord, every note was exchanged. And of the notes exchanged with the RBI, RBI's annual report says that only 0.0027% of individual currency notes were found to be fake notes. 0.0027%. was found to be fake. Every note that had been returned had been accounted for by the RBI. The annual report is there. We replace all that. Therefore, Mullah, the first question is this the way a decision can be taken? Is this a reasonable, prudent decision-making process that you withdraw 86.4% of the currency in 24 hours and don't place those documents in the public domain? Mullah, we have asked for these documents. These documents have never been placed in the public domain. 7th November, 8th November agenda note, and 8th November recommendation. That's the first question.